Reporters say it's about protecting personal freedom.
But some doctors warn it could put patients at risk. KCCI Chief Political Reporter Amanda Rooker shows us what the bill would change. Amanda.
Well, Stacey, Ben, this bill would make it much easier for Iowans to get ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Those drugs, you may remember the names of those. They sparked heated debate during the pandemic when the Food and Drug Administration said they were not effective in treating or preventing COVID-19. Now, Republican state lawmakers say this bill is about reversing government overreach, but some doctors are raising concerns about safety and oversight.
The fact that this bill was even written and submitted is just frightening to me.
Dr. Lewis Katz has spent the last 5 decades as an infectious disease specialist. He's raising concerns about a bill that would allow Iowa adults to get ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine without a prescription. Drugs the FDA has approved to treat some parasites and skin conditions, but ones he says can come with serious side effects.
Drugs can be used off-label, but that needs to be a face-to-face discussion with a physician that knows about the drugs.
Under the bill, Iowa's public health medical director would be required to sign a standing order, allowing pharmacists to dispense the drugs to any adult. No required exam or medical screening. Pharmacists would not be allowed to keep a record of the encounter.
This is like asking the medical director of the state health department potentially to commit malpractice by allowing over his signature a drug to be prescribed unsafely. This is just totally inappropriate.
The bill would also shield pharmacists and Iowa's medical director from civil and criminal liability. One of the bill's sponsors, Republican State Representative Charlie Thompson, says the bill is aimed at, quote, advancing the liberty interests of Iowans and is in response to what he calls government overreach during the pandemic when these products were restricted. He says the bill is meant to, quote, keep it from happening again.
This is a bill that recognizes that hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin are very important.
Former Republican state senator and emergency medicine doctor David Hartsich agrees the drugs shouldn't be restricted, but he says doctors should decide who to prescribe it to.
The state merely saying, oh yeah, let's go ahead and do it, does not take into account interactions of drugs and possible negative effects on health.
Now, we did reach out to all 3 Republican state lawmakers that sponsored this bill. None were available today for an interview. And again, the Food and Drug Administration has not approved either of these drugs to treat or prevent COVID-19. Iowans will have a chance to weigh in on this legislation during a hearing that's scheduled right now for tomorrow at 12:15 in room 304 at the Iowa State House. Also, Governor Kim Reynolds has said that allowing access to ivermectin without a prescription is a top priority for her this session, but she has not released her own proposal yet. Stacey.
Amanda, thank you.